the Pistol Shrimp. Do the Pistol Shrimp.
Welcome to the Shrimply Good Podcast, the podcast for Pistol Shrimp Baseball. I'm Lucas Burris. Next to me is Jayce Eustice, and welcome to episode 2 of the 2023 season of the Shrimply Good Podcast after, I would say, an interesting week of Pistol Shrimp Baseball, Jayce.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we come in, obviously, into the season with high expectations, it's been up and down, and it's been a crazy first week of Pistol Shrimp Baseball, to say the least.
Yeah, I would say so. We're going to head right into what we always do, but it's good to have everyone here for this midweek episode of the Prospect League podcast. That's how we'll do it. We started the season on a Wednesday, so we'll do the Shrimply Good podcast, I should say, on a Wednesday. So that's what we'll do. I think it's a nice way to do it. We're getting a full 7 days of action most of the time, so it'll work out perfectly. We'll do the same thing next week. So good to see everyone on a Wednesday evening or possibly Thursday morning, whenever you're taking in the Shrimply Good podcast. But let's jump right in, Jayce. 2-5 on the week for the Pistol Shrimp, and it all started last Wednesday, May 31st, with a loss to the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes 6-5 in Springfield.
Yeah, and this one was one of those 10-inning games. They dropped the season opener really in heartbreaking fashion after they took that 5-0 lead in the second inning. They failed to add on as the Lucky Horseshoes. They continued to battle back. They grabbed 1 in the third, 3 in the fifth before tying the game 5-5 in the ninth and walking off the Shrimp on a Kaler single to left field to win that game 6-5. Jason Shanner in that game got the start, 3 innings, 2 hits, gave up 1 earned run, a walk, 3 strikeouts. That was a homer, one of the earned runs he gave up. He was really solid, going out there and starting this season for the Pistol Shrimp. Then Sebastian Gonzalez came in, 3 innings as well, 1 hit, 3 runs. 0 of them were earned, however, 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. Jared Herzog kind of got his 1 inning that we like to see from manager John Jackimick, throwing those guys out there that he's going to start in a few days. It was clean, 0 runs, just a walk, a couple of strikeouts. Justin Rios finished that one off too with 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs. None of them were earned, 1 walk and 4 strikeouts. On the offensive side of things, not a lot to write about for the Shrimp. Manny Andujar did go 1 for 4, 3 RBIs, including scoring a run. The only other 2 hits for the Pistol Shrimp in this one belonged to Luis Perona and Toby Jackson, but really just one of those where the Shrimp, they scored a lot early on, and then the offense just went silent, and you got to give credit to Springfield. They continued to battle back and won the game there in the 10th inning.
Yeah, this was the game where we looked back and we weren't too concerned about the pitching yet. That was kind of the thing. And we'll get to that later in some of these walk-off losses. It was kind of just an extended outing for Rios. He went 2 innings, kind of just a tough one there in the bottom of the ninth, not able to close it out. So then he went out there for the 10th, and that's where things got out of hand as the offense couldn't just find that 6th run. That's pretty much all you needed in this game. So this is the one where I liked the outing from Shanner. It was our first time we've seen Sebastian Gonzalez. He looked good minus the walks. Herzog looked great. Rios looked good for his first 2, minus a little trouble there in the ninth. So really what you're looking for the Pistol Shrimp in this first game was, what can you take away? And it was, you need to walk less people on the mound, and we'll get to that trend as the week goes on. But that was the least, I would say, interesting of the walk-offs we had this week so far. So just a 6-5 loss to the Shoes, a tough start to the season for the Shrimp. They're looking to battle it back the next day, but similar results, Jayce. That was the tough part. We went to Burlington, we faced off against the Bees, and it felt like deja vu.
Yeah, absolutely. It did not get any easier there in game 2 for the Shrimp, as they led pretty much throughout, but gave up 7 runs in those final 2 innings of that game and lost on a throwing error, despite how out hitting the Bees 11-4 in that ball game. David Andolina got the start in that one. He went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 0 runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. He looked really good on the mound. It was really surprising to see, but just great to see him go out there and command the strike zone. Daniel Strom came in out of that bullpen, 2 2/3 innings, 0 hits, 0 runs, but 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. That can come back to bite you. Daniel Vogue, he went just 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 4 runs, all of them were earned, 2 walks, a strikeout. Then Brett Baldus came into this game an inning and a third, 0 hits, but gave up 2 runs, 1 of them earned on his 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. Then Juju Thompson did not record an inning pitch, gave up 0 hits, a run. It was not earned, but did give up a walk. So on that one. So as you talked about in that first game, we were not too concerned about the pitching. Then we saw that walk bug really come up on the offensive side of things. They got it going a little bit, scoring 6 runs. Jake Ferguson, 1 for 2 with an RBI, 3 walks. Isaiah Hart was 1 for 5, a couple RBIs. Luis Perona, 2 for 5 with an RBI. And Tyler Dorsch, 2 for 4 with a walk as well. But just not enough on the offensive side. Too many walks from the pitching staff. And that's how you end up dropping a tough game there to Burlington.
Yeah, and that game one, like I mentioned, that pitching staff, there was good individual outings. It kind of just felt like fatigue. But in this game, two of the season, another walk-off loss, it was identical. You scored 5 runs in
Yeah,
game one, then couldn't score. This one, you scored 4 across 3 innings. You spread it out a little bit, but then you couldn't tack other than adding a little bit. I thought it was good on that side of things, but you can't give up a 4 spot in the 8th and a 3 spot in the 9th and expect. And that's where you looked the opposite. I thought the hitters did what they needed to do. They added 2 more runs when the game got close. Great job there. But the pitching side of things, it just went downhill with the walks on, like you said. And really, Andolino was great. And that's why you can look and you can separate, because 4 innings of only 1 walk, fantastic. Only 3 base runners total. And he struck out 3. But then 12 walks and only 5 innings the rest of the way. I mean, that's just the tough stretch for the Pistol Shrimp as they're looking to settle in, and we'll get to that. But that's where the 2 losses come in to the start of the season. It is just 2 walk-offs on just heartbreaking fashion on the road. We're just fatigue, late inning walks, and letting a team back into a game. So for the Pistol Shrimp, you start 0-2, but then you hit the home crowd, and that's where the fun can begin. And that's where the fun began for the Pistol Shrimp as well. Something switched. This was the best game of the season we've seen for the Pistol Shrimp this year. An 18-2 victory in front of the home crowd on Friday night at Schweickert Stadium.
Yeah, they absolutely came into that game really needing to grab a win, and they did that after those first 2 opening games to start the season. And really, it started from the jump with Jared Herzog on the bump out there. It got things started. Shrimp offense provided more than enough as the Shrimp really ended this one early with that 7 spot in the 3rd and an 8 spot in the 5th inning. Jared Herzog nearly, if it weren't for the pitch count, went the distance on this one with 6 in the 3rd innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of them were earned. Just 3 walks over those innings and 8 strikeouts. Just kind of the traditional Jared Herzog, what we come to expect, those high strikeout numbers going deep into these ball games, just being really effective out there on the mound. Then Justin Rios came in just to finish it off, 2/3 innings pitch, gave up 2 hits, but was just in there pounding the strike zone. 0 runs, 2 walks, or sorry, no walks, 2 strikeouts, excuse me. On the offensive side of things, it's just kind of like pick your poison. You know, there's hits up and down that lineup. Luis Perona, 2 for 2, 2 runs, 3 RBIs, and 3 walks. Tyler Dorsch, 2 for 5, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Logan Delgado in that 3 spot, 2 for 4, 2 runs and an RBI. And Anthony Fornero, player of the game there, was 3 for 4, 3 runs, including a home run and 3 RBIs in this one. Shrimp collected 16 hits and really just routed the Bees there to get that first win of the season.
Yeah, just an all-around great game. Only 1 error in this game as well. The Bees kind of fell apart on the defensive side. They had 5 themselves. You out-hit them 16-4, and you outran them 18-2. Almost a shutout, like I said. We were real close to one of the most impressive victories I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you don't just hit the fatigue and miss the pitch count there for Herzog in the 7th. It was a long game, though, so that was a real issue because the Pistol Shrimp put up a 7 spot in the 3rd and an 8 spot in the 5th. But other than that, this is all-around well-played baseball game for the Pistol Shrimp in this one. You get your first win of the season. You move to 1-2 on the year. You're feeling good, but then the next day, you're not sure, Jayce. You're just not sure. But you come back. You do what you have done and have had done to you all season. And the Burlington Bees come back on a Saturday night and they get walked off by the Pistol Shrimp on the courtesy of Nico Azpilicueta's 3-run home run, a 13-10 victory for the Shrimp. Let's look at this Saturday night victory.
Yeah, absolutely. As we talked about what the story was with those first couple of games, the Pistol Shrimp really just flipped the script on this one and kind of did the opposite, like you mentioned there. They scored early, failed to add on, and close late is how they've been playing out throughout this season. But this time they came back with 7 runs over the final 3 innings, capped by that walk-off 3-run home run to straightaway center by Nico Azpilicueta. This was an amazing game. You know, they continued to battle back, really found themselves back. 5 runs, continue, 5, then 4, 3, 2, continue to work their way back, tied the game late, and then that big 3-run shot by Nico. It does not get any bigger than that. Joey Cicola got the start in this one, 2 innings pitched to give up 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 of them were earned, 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Juju Thompson came in out of that pen, 2 innings, 2 hits, 4 runs, all of them were earned, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. Daniel Strom came in with a third of an innings pitched, no hits, one run, it was earned and 3 walks. But then Sebastian Gonzalez comes into this one and really just rights the ship, puts up a lot of zeros up on that board, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 3 hits, only 1 run, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. He was great down the stretch of that game. As we mentioned, Nico Azpilicueta, 2 for 5, that home run, 3 RBIs, 3 runs scored, including a walk. Tyler Dorsch did what he's done pretty much in every game. As we mentioned, a nice 2 for 3, couple of RBIs, 3 walks in this one. And Justin Rios down in that 9 spot, he was 3 for 3, 2 runs scored, a couple of RBIs as well. And I mean, we got to point out too, the Bees intentionally walked Isaiah Hart, who hit a home run right before Nico in the at-bat before that to get to Nico, forced to pitch to him, and he sends one out there to center field. Doesn't get better than that.
Yeah, I mean, some really good hitting performance in this one.
Yeah.
Obviously, as you score 13 runs after that 8-speed spot, a lot of pinch hitters in this game as well, which is really nice to see. A lot of bats come off the bench and provide a spark after a tough start to this game. It was a back and forth contest, what you saw there, but just never quit. Kind of taking in a nice home crowd at Schweickert Stadium and having a little fun. And Nico just sent one over the wall there in the bottom of that ninth to have a little fun with it and send us home pretty happy. 13-10 Pistol Shrimp victory. And again, really good outing from Sebastian Gonzalez. That was the highlight of this game for me. As much as the bats were fun, he showed out. He looked good. He was exciting, animated, and just kept the Pistol Shrimp in this game. And that's what you need in these kind of situations. And that is the true performance of the season so far of a pitcher coming in either in I think he came in the 6th, but coming in the 7th, the 8th, the 9th, and letting you have a chance on the offensive side to pick up a victory. So really good job by Sebastian Gonzalez in that game to let the Pistol Shrimp have their chance to score 7 runs in the final 3 frames. So a 13-10 victory for the Pistol Shrimp. 2-2. You're feeling good. You just come off 2 home wins, but some excitement on Sunday. And the Pistol Shrimp again get hit with that walk-off bug. Ben Zobrist is in the house. We're in normal. It's a Prospect League Hall of Fame. There's a nice crowd. The commissioner's in attendance.
Yep.
And you lose on a walk-off. For the 3rd time this season, the Pistol Shrimp would lose on Sunday 11-10 in 10 innings against the Normal Corn Belters.
Yeah, these road games really have been tough for the Pistol Shrimp as they give up 7 runs over the final 3 frames in this one to drop this one 11-10. They stay winless away from Schweickert Stadium, something they'll be looking to change. Obviously, going forward, Jason Shanner got the start in this one. He went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. A little bit more walks than what we expect from Jason Shanner, who always has great command of the strike zone. But he went out there. He gave you length in that starting position. Justin Rios coming out of that bullpen, 4 innings. Like we said, more length, 5 hits. 5 runs, 3 of them were earned, a walk and a strikeout. And then Nico Espoqueda got the last inning in a third, 2 hits, 2 runs. One of them was earned, a walk and 3 strikeouts. Joe Stogowski was good on the offensive side for the Pistol Shrimp, 3 for 5, 4 RBIs, including a home run, 2 doubles in this game. And Rob Marinek, really his first kind of really good game that we've seen from him on the offensive side. We know he can hit the cover off the baseball. This time he was 3 for 6 with an RBI. Fornero and Jackson each added 2 hits as well. The Shrimp played fairly clean in this ball game, but they just couldn't hold on against that I-39 rival.
Yeah, I mean, that's really the big thing in this game was this was a clean game. Not too many walks besides the starter for Shanner, who ended up giving up 5, but the next 2, really good job on the walk side of things. Only 1 error in this game combined. It was a fun game to watch. Ben Zobrist himself said, hey, this is a good played game. And I thought so too, calling it from the booth. Yeah. It was nice. It looked good. There was a nice rally. If you're a Corn Belters fan, that's a fantastic back and forth game. But a Pistol Shrimp fan, if this was just a regular walk-off, you're like, all right, some things went wrong. But because it was the 3rd and the 4th total we've seen this season, something felt not right. But for this one, there wasn't too many negatives other than, again, just kind of losing it on the pitching side late in the game. But you scored 10 runs. You looked good. You out-hit them. You just got to do better again in the later innings. That is the theme. That is the concept that is being preached in the Pistol Shrimp dugout right now. So really, for the Shrimp, this was one of the tougher losses, I thought. Those Bees losses and the Shoes losses, you knew what hurt in those final few frames. This one, really, you played a solid game that just snuck away from you in the end against a good Corn Belters team. So an 11-10 loss moved the Pistol Shrimp to 2-3 on the season. And then you face the Shoes again. 2 more games against the Shoes. And this is where things got real interesting. Just a tough Monday night loss for the Pistol Shrimp. Not too much to take away from this game, other than the fact that he out-hit the Shoes and still lost 14-3.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one that the Shrimp would just like to forget early on in the season. They were never in this ball game, giving up runs in every inning besides that first inning en route to the 14-3 loss early in that game, despite, as you said, surrendering only 5 hits in this ball game. And it was that walk bug that came back to really bite the pitchers for the Pistol Shrimp. Daniel Strom got the start in that one, 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 6 runs, 5 walks, 3 strikeouts. Ryan Keeley, was good to see him back on the mound, went out there, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts. And then Brett Baldus, an inning in relief, no hits, 3 earned runs with those 5 walks. On the offensive side for the Pistol Shrimp, Tyler Dorsch was 1 for 4, 2 RBIs. He did have a triple, the first triple for the Pistol Shrimp this season, and Nick Chavez 1 for 3 with an RBI. On the offensive side, there was not much to write home about. You did, as you mentioned, only giving up those 5 hits, but when you're giving up 5 hits and 14 runs, you know that something's going to be a little bit off, either a lot of errors and a lot of walks. In this game, it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, and the big thing in this game and what you need to know for the Pistol Shrimp on the pitching side of things, again, not too many hits, but you only pitched 6 innings in a 7-run, 10-run rule loss. You gave up 13 walks in those 6 innings. That's more than 2 walks per inning, and you have 4 hit by pitches, so you can add to that as well. That is 17 free bases the Pistol Shrimp gave up in only 6 innings. You're going to lose any game you do that.
Absolutely.
And it's being preached. I'm going to move on now from that, but you've understood what I mean. And that's the reason the Pistol Shrimp lost in this game. As much as we'd like to be on our high horse for a lot of the Pistol Shrimp, this was kind of just, here's what happens when you do it. You know, you've seen what happens when you do it towards the end of games and close games, but here's when you stretch it across an entire game. That's the kind of things that can happen.
Absolutely.
A 14-3 loss to the Lucky Horseshoes. And then we hit Tuesday. And Tuesday had all the makings of a great Pistol Shrimp game. Everything looked fantastic. 1 half inning, and that's it. That's what ruined this game for the Pistol Shrimp on the just winning side of things. They end up taking the loss to the Shoes 9-8 in 9 innings at Schweickert Stadium after giving up 7 runs in the top of the 9th inning.
Yeah, this was a rough one for the Pistol Shrimp as they led this game pretty comfortably, throughout, but just ran out of gas there at the end, surrendering those 7 runs in the top of the ninth inning to lose this game 9-8. The Shrimp scored 5 in that first inning, added on 2 in the 6th, but it wasn't enough. Left some meat on the bone. A lot of guys out there left on base at the end of these innings. They lose that first home game of this season. Pitching overall, I got to say, if you're just not looking at the box score, it looks really good for the Pistol Shrimp. If you were watching that game, David Andolina got the start in that one. 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, only 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts, striking out about 2 an inning. And then Drew Zamitis, he was fantastic in this game. I don't care what the box score says. 4 innings pitched, did end up giving up 5 hits, 7 runs, 6 of them were earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. But like you said, just ran out of gas right there at the end as that pitch count started to climb in his young arm. It just wasn't quite enough to get him through the rest of that ball game. Daniel Vogt came in too with 2/3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 0 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. On the offensive side of things, it was Rob Marinick who got things going in that first inning. He ended up being just 1 for 1, but 3 RBIs, including that 3-run home run in the first inning, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. And hopefully, that last hit by pitch was a little bit scary as it was in on the hands. Hopefully he's feeling all right and going to be back in there sooner rather than later. But Nico Aspoqueta was good on this one, the offensive side too. 2 for 5, 2 RBIs, a couple of doubles, and Xander Silkin 2 for 3 with an RBI as well. So this one really stung for the Shrimp, the suffering their 4th late inning loss of the young season. But it was one of those where you realize, hey, we could have easily won this game. There was a lot of opportunities where we could have added more runs, left some guys out there. And it's just kind of a message to that offense that you can never have too many runs. You got to continue to add on through the ball games.
Yeah, the Pistol Shrimp in this game easily could be 6-1 on the season after a win here tonight. But it didn't happen on that Tuesday night. So what you know from the Pistol Shrimp now is it was just kind of the pitching side of things. I mean, I saw in this game 6 pitchers from the Lucky Horseshoes. I'm not sure if 6 pitchers were available for the Shrimp. So I think that's really the story of the game. You might not want to put Zamitis out there in the 9th, but he looked like he was more than fine to be out there in the 9th. So really, it's just the fatigue settled in for the young pitcher, and things spiraled and the Shoes took advantage. And that's the story of this game. Just 1 half inning to lose it for the Pistol Shrimp. But in this game, unlike I said last night, there was a lot of good things to take away. Another good game for Nico Aspoqueta, another good game for Rob Marinick, continuing to hit, continuing to tack hits in this game. I mean, 9 total, that's going to do it every day of the week. Really just not enough there in the top of the 9th inning to pick up the victory. So the Pistol Shrimp end up finishing the week 2-5 after a tough week. They gave up 4 walk-off losses, then lost on a 10-run rule to Springfield and picked up one of their victories themselves on a walk-off win. So not a real game of baseball for the Shrimp. We have not just gone 9 innings of a 5-3 game this year. No. 2 10-run rules, one on the good side, one on the bad side, and the rest have been walk-offs. So honestly, what I'm looking for this week for the Shrimp is let's just play a normal game of baseball.
Normalcy. Yeah,
but
no doubt.
When you have an interesting week like that, Jayce, sometimes it's going to be okay on everything else except your record. So the Pistol Shrimp 2-5 on the season, not the best, but they're still 2-1 in the West Great River Division. They're still very much in that race, that division, playing some uneven baseball so far. So 2-5 overall, but 2-1 in the West Great River. They're 2-1 at home, 0-4 away, but they look really good on some of the statistical categories for the Pistol Shrimp. They are 7th in average at 276. They finished last season as a 273 team hitting, and that was good for third in the league. So 276 is more than good. There's a lot of good hitting teams in this league. Everyone will settle down a bit, but they have 68 hits. That's 5th in the league. 63 runs. That's third. 49 walks. That's third. 5 home runs. That's third. They also have 16 doubles. That's second. So you're doing what you want to do on the hitting side of things. Those numbers, if you can stay in those league leading numbers the rest of the way, you're going to be a good team. But it's the pitching side of things that you're a little afraid of. 7.25 ERA. Well, that has a lot to do with a lot of the runs and a lot of the walks that have been given up so far. 70 Ks, that's fantastic. Second in the league. Only 49 hits given up. That's fantastic. Only 4th in the league. But dead last, 60 walks given up in the league, 17th out of 17 teams. And then fielding percentage rise, same thing. You just got to get it cleaned up on the defensive side of things. 9.36 fielding percentage, that's 14th in the league. 15 errors, that's 13th in the league. So a few things you can just put them on a cork board and I don't know, sticky note or whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
It's walks on the mound,
Yep.
errors in the field, and that's it. That's what the Pistol Shrimp need to clean up the rest of the way. But some good individual leaders as well, Jayce. Let's look at who's in the top 10 for the Pistol Shrimp. I think this is one of my favorite parts of what we do here on the Shrimp podcast is checking into the top 10. Let's look at the batting side of things for the Pistol Shrimp.
Yeah, absolutely. On the offensive side for the Pistol Shrimp, Tyler Dorsch is up there tied for second in the prospect league with runs. He has scored 9 so far over the 7 games. Tyler Dorsch also is tied for 10th in hits with 10. He reached that double-digit mark. Really nice to see. And then one of your favorite statistical categories, as long as, obviously everybody's healthy, but Rob Marinick is tied for 5th in hit by pitches with 3 already this season. As it seems like the Pistol Shrimp over the last couple of seasons are always towards the top of those hit by pitches. They're willing to take the bases, just love to keep it away from the hands. Is obviously, like you said, hope that Rob Marinick's doing all right.
Yeah, that's the big part of that story. He's been hit a lot. He got hit twice last night as well. So the big thing for Marinick is hopefully he is okay, but leading the Shrimp and 5th in the league in hit by pitches with 3. On the pitching side of things, some really good numbers so far, even though we've had trouble with the walks. David Andolina tied for 1st in strikeouts with 12. Justin Rios tied for 5th in strikeouts with 10. And then Jared Herzog tied for 5th in strikeouts with 10. Justin Rios tied for 7th in K9 at 13.5 strikeouts per 9 innings of work. Sebastian Gonzalez 10th in ERA at 1.17. And then David Andolina tied for 6th in inning pitch at 9. So some really good starts for the Pistol Shrimp. Those are really 3 pitchers that have looked the best so far for the Pistol Shrimp. I would love to see Drew Zemaitis up there as well, but of course that last inning. So we got some good arms in this team. We just all got to get settled in. But Pistol Shrimp, they got more action. We talk about that, and it's all happening this week. So let's check in on where the Pistol Shrimp will be playing through Thursday through Tuesday this coming week.
Yeah, to start off their schedule this week, they will be at home at Schweickert Stadium on Thursday, June 8th. That is against Normal Corn Belters. First pitch, 7:05 for that one. Then they will go on the road Friday, June 9th, taking a trip over to Lafayette. That will be a 6 o'clock Central Time first pitch for that. Then they are back home on Saturday against the Clinton Lumber Kings. That's June 10th, 7:05 first pitch. Then they go on the road for back-to-back games Sunday, June 11th at Danville. That is at 4:30 first pitch. And then then on Monday, June 11th against Lafayette, they will be a 6 o'clock first pitch before coming back home to finish off the week. Tuesday, June 13th against the Springfield Lucky Horseshoes. Once again, that is a 7:05 first start. So a chance, 3 home, 3 away, chance to get right back in the where you'd like to see that record, now sitting at 2-5.
Yeah, big opportunity here. You'll see your division rival Clinton once this week. You'll see a very familiar face, 2 very familiar faces, I should say, in Lafayette and Danville, 2 former divisional teams. You'll see Springfield again to conclude this week, and you'll start it off with Normal on Thursday, a familiar face you're looking to get revenge against as well. So fun week coming up for the Pistol Shrimp. Fun week at Schweickert Stadium as well. 3 theme nights coming your way at Schweickert Stadium this week. We started off on Thursday with Pride Night presented by Prairie Fox Books in Ottawa. We'll have the Doghouse LaSalle and Dittos out there for food, along with ice cream from Bruce and Ollie's. We'll also feature the Ottawa Family Pride Festival, which is this weekend. Then on Saturday, we'll do Latin Heritage Night At Schweickert Stadium, we'll have local eats from Los Tacos Guys, Dittos, and Starved Rock Tropical Snow. We'll also have some fun salsa dancing and some more fun stuff on the field during what June is calling Salsa Saturday for Latin Heritage Night as well. And then we'll do Bark
Absolutely.
in the Park. That will feature Big B Barbecue on Tuesday. It'll also feature Illinois Valley Animal Rescue, as always, with our 50-50 benefiting that night. We'll do a pregame dog parade. We'll do some doggy photos as well, and we'll do some very fun on-field dog events as well. So more information on all of these theme nights at pistolshrimpbaseball.com. Make sure you check out the events on our Facebook page as well. So come out on Thursday, Saturday, and Tuesday this coming week for 3 very fun nights at Schweickert Stadium. But Jayce, it's finally time. Someone ring a bell somewhere. We get to name our first Shrimply Good Players of the Week, always presented by Tangled Roots Brewing Company. More information on Tangled Roots Brewing Company. Make sure you check them out in the Tangled Roots Brewing Company beer garden at the field as well. But it's time for our Shrimply Good Players of the Week. We'll start with the hitter. I think it's who everyone's going to expect there. Jayce, our hitter of the week is...
Yeah, let's just give it to the man who's been in that 2 spot pretty much in every lineup that we've seen. That is Tyler Dorsch. 6 games played this week, 25 at-bats, 10 hits, 9 runs, 7 RBIs, a couple of doubles, a triple, 5 walks, 3 stolen bases, a 400 average, a 500 on-base percentage, and a 560 slug. So just to kind of sum up all those numbers, doing a little bit of everything and doing everything he does at a high level, Tyler Dorsch has been on fire to start this season.
And our pitcher of the week, again, who most people probably expect, is going to be David Andolina. Just fantastic this season. 2 starts on the mound, no wins or losses, so that's okay. But 6 hits, 2 runs, only 3 walks, 12 strikeouts, a 2.00 ERA, and 12 Ks per 9. He was fantastic, looking real good on the mound. In ace territory, he's competing with Herzog and Shanner for that opportunity to be a top-of-the-line Pistol Shrimp starting pitcher on the season. And David Andolina, a fantastic week. 2 surprising, I would say, fantastic weeks of play from our hitter and pitchers of the week.
Yeah, absolutely. And for Andolina, it's just one of those guys who at the beginning of the season, you never know what arms you're going to have available, who's here, who's ready to go, who's not. And he's really been a steady force for that pitching staff, for the Pistol Shrimp. And when we've needed it, obviously going out there, eating up a lot of innings, getting a lot of strikeouts, and keeping that walk number low, he's been great to start the season.
Our first Tangled Roots Brewing Company Shrimply Good Players of the Week, a hitter and pitcher this week and every week announced on the Shrimply Good podcast. Jayce, that wraps us up. It's been a fun one. Same as always. We're doing what we do. We're settled back in, and hopefully next week we have the opposite of this week's record and we get a little more excited about our box scores. But I hope the fans enjoyed another edition of the Shrimply Good podcast here for the official podcast for Pistol Shrimp Baseball. Hope to see you all at Schweickert Stadium on Thursday, Saturday, and Tuesday this coming week. But remember, if you can't make it to the game, you can listen live to every Pistol Shrimp game home and away on 103.9 WLPL, online, on your phone, in your car, wherever you have a radio signal or access to the internet. You can listen to 103.9 WLPL. And if you want to catch the games in video form, you can catch every game, but mostly our home games with me and Jayce on Prospect League TV. Just go to prospectleague.tv to learn more. Thanks for stopping by episode 2 of the 2023 season of the Shrimply Good podcast. Fear the Claw, and we'll see you next time.
Do the Pistol Shrimp. Do the Pistol Shrimp.